Hi, thank you. So welcome to my presentation. And I want to clarify one thing straight at the beginning. This presentation is about campaigns we did with Svoboda Zvířat, which is a Czech organization that I used to work in. And now I'm currently working in an organization called Albert Schweitzer Foundation. So just to clarify that at the beginning. So you see. The thing is, when I started to work in Svoboda Zvířat in 2021, this is the amount of contacts they had on their mailing list in their database. And the reason I'm talking about Svoboda Zvířat and the whole case study and their campaigns is that currently Svoboda Zvířat has that many contacts. So they grew a lot. So that's the reason we gathered here. I'm talking about that. What also happened is they grew also like very similar on the followers on Instagram. This one should be really interesting for you because it's a fundraising thing. At the beginning, in 2021, they had like almost 150 regular donors, and now they have even more. They have even more than 3,000 regular donors, which is insane. And what does that mean? Like practically, they had like in 2021 we had like I don't know like 4 employees when I started to work there. Right now I checked, it's like more than 30 employees. And of course there's like the tele-fundraising team, which is pretty big, but still like it's a huge change. Like just to get like the idea, you know, like when we say to 150 donors, what does it mean? Like you don't really have an idea about that, but this is what it means practically for your organization. So there was like this huge growth. It's actually amazing, and I love that. Like every time I look back, like wow, the organization did such a good job. And just to keep in mind, this happened without like having any grants. Like the majority of the stuff that happened was mainly without any grants, without any major donors as well. And it was only by engaging supporters. And now you're probably asking yourself, how did that happen? And maybe you're like even having that face as my dog. That's Aisha, if you're wondering. She's super beautiful, I know, but she's like always making that face on me, like what? So maybe you're like having I see those faces there, like you're doing the same as she does. So if you're wondering how that happened, there are like 5 principles I stick to every time I do a campaign, like, or we do a campaign, or I am consulting someone to do a campaign. And those are pretty simple. First principle is in growth we trust. What does that mean? Basically, it's just like if I create a campaign, I try every time to think of ways how the organization could grow on that campaign. So if I'm doing a petition, or if we, as we did like this European citizen initiative for, like you probably know, safe cruelty-free cosmetics, and then the FUR ban in Europe, we actually, like, especially with the first initiative, we did something completely like different, like if you compare it to other organizations, what they did. Because usually everyone would just send all the people to the initiative, like just go, there is it, like put your like personal ID there, the number there, and just like, you know, sign it and that's it. But what does that mean? Like that meant that the organization were not getting any contacts. They were just like sending people randomly there because you cannot like collect those people that signed the initiative. So what we basically did was that we created a website, a landing page, and we were like collecting those contacts before we send those people to sign that initiative, which was really different to like compared to what the other organizations did. And so basically, just to like tell you, like what does that mean? Like we took the people we had on our mailing list, and of course like all the other people that were like following us on social media and everything, and we asked them to fill out this form on this website. Then we had like implemented the initiative into our website, so they were like signing it actually. And then what happened, that's the interesting part, how you can make your organization grow, like besides the thing that you're already gathering their contacts. After signing that petition, we ask them to donate a single donation. And if you're not doing that, like, just do it, really. Because you would be surprised how many people are like so ready to donate after they sign a petition, because you already, like, you got them on the website. They are already like understanding the topic. They already want to change it. They want to change the thing. I don't know if it's like the fur farms or whatever, like cruelty cosmetics, whatever. Like they're there, they already gave you their signature, so they're super ready to like do more. So, and we know that 5% of those people who sign will give you the single donation. The next step is, if they skip the single donation, or if they do it, you will ask them to be the regular donor as well. And again, like interesting number, we know that 1% of the people that are on the website will donate a regular donation as well. So this is like a super important principle that I would always stick to. Like, if you are doing a campaign, just collect those signatures, collect those leads, collect those contacts, collect those phone numbers, and then ask them straight away to become single donors and to become regular donors. Principle number 2. Your supporter is the hero. You have probably heard that so many times today. Like, we've been talking about it on the first session. If you've been there, we've been talking about, like, Martina at her telefundraising session was actually talking about that. Like, make the supporter the hero of the situation. Like, I know, like, we do the job, we know it, like, we all know it. We are the ones that are actually there, like, meeting up with those politicians and everything. We know that, like, of course. But the supporter, like, what would we do without them? We need them. They are, like, the movement, actually. So, sorry, your supporter is the hero, and it's not you. It's not the organization. I'm sorry. Even though, like, I love what you're doing, of course, like, I'm super fan of that, all of you, like, you're here, you're changing, like, everything, the world for animals and stuff like that. But, like, if you're communicating with your supporters, make them the hero, empower them, like, engage them into, like, actually changing stuff. So when I'm consulting, or when I'm, like, starting communication, like, when I'm starting to change someone's communication, what we usually see, like, as I said before, like, the organization, this is like us. We are, like, the ones that are working hard, you know, to change all the things. And we are doing that for animals, for the cute, cute little animals. I will just, like, keep the panda there and, like, imagine, like, the panda is representing all the animals, because I know, like, if I keep that there, you will just, like, you look at them because they're super cute. I know that. But no, it's the panda. Panda is representing all the animals. And what we usually do, what I usually see, like, when I check the communication of the majority of organizations, we would say, okay, like, the NGO, we are helping animals. And that's great. And it's true. We know that. But the supporters, do they really want to hear that? Do you think that's something that makes you, like, stand up of your chair and be like, yes, I'm super glad that you are, like, changing stuff? Does that, like, empower you if that you hear that? Like, I'm not sure. So if, like, I always start to, like, tell everyone, involve the people, like, empower the people. You want to build that movement of people that think that they know that they can actually change something. You want, like, hundreds and thousands of people, like, following you, like, actually doing something for the animals. So, and the first step, usually what happens is that the NGO starts to tell, okay, help us help the animals. Please, like, donate to us to help the animals. This is, like, the first step that happens every time. But there is the next step, which is the final one, I would say. Make the supporter the hero. Like, connect them straightly to the impact. It's such a difference if you say, help me, help them, and if you leave the organization out and you just say, help the animals. Like, what do you think? Like, what is, like, more like empowering? Is it like when you hear that, okay, I'm like donating to an organization, then there's someone like going to meet a politician? Or is it if you hear, okay, your donation is the thing that is actually helping animals, your donation is making it possible to change the world and to help animals? I would say, like, for me, and what I see from the results actually, is when you connect the supporter directly to their impact. So this is the correct way. Third principle. Success is the key to success. Again, I know we've heard that like before at the other fundraising sessions, if you attended. People really like to follow things that are successful. It's like a social proof. You will find studies about it if you like want to search for them. But if something seems successful, we tend to follow it as well. And it's like about a fundraiser. This is something that that works in a fundraiser and as well in collecting signatures as well. So you can use it in your letters. For example, this was a letter I have sent when we did the fur ban campaign, and you can see like this letter was actually working really well, and there are more things that are happening there. First of it, it's ugly. I know that. It's super ugly. I don't know why I created that. And I'm a bit shy. Like, but it's working. Like, yeah, ugly things work. I'm sorry, but they work. We don't have to be perfect all the time. I remember some smart person in the room told me once, like, what is this? Is it the like letter from 2005 or what? Where are we? But yeah, but why is it working? Yeah, the interesting thing about it is that there are phases. Like you can see, we created just some phases to give the people to show them that actually we achieved something, we can celebrate something. There have been some phases, some goals, and we achieved them, which is great. The people can like celebrate with you and they see it's already successful. People keep joining. So why? Great. Like, can I join as well? And that's happening there. And also, like, you have it, like, really personal. It's visual, kind of. I mean, like, it would be more visual without the picture, I know. Because you can hardly read it, I know. But still, there is, like, my email, if you can see it. And it makes it look, like, really personal. This is just for me. I got this email for me. There's my name. And there is, like, written that my signature is still missing. And that makes, like, a really clear statement at the beginning, and still, as I said, showing that like people are joining, so I should probably join too. So this is like for collecting signatures, but it's definitely as well working for fundraisers. Again, I use the same principle here. There are phases, showing that we already achieved those phases, that we achieved those goals, and there is even like another goal that has to be achieved. So again, I'm showing that people are joining, and people will join as well when they see that. I actually like tested those emails. Like if you have that supporter box, I call it supporter box. Like if you have that supporter box there, and if you have not it there, like, and the email with the supporter box is always better. Like it's working so, like really, like use it. If you're not using it, use it. So, and in general, like even like the wording of the emails, I'm always like, when I reach the phase and one goal or something, I'm always celebrating. Like I'm always telling people, look how it's great, like join it, people are still joining. And you can of course use that as well on social media, not only in the emails. So if I should like just summarize what that means, like success is a key to success, especially like when you are starting something, always start from collecting it from the closest ones. This again, like when you're doing a fundraiser, don't just like send it out with a zero. Just like send it to close people that are already involved, they already believe in the thing, so that when you go public, you can already show that it's successful, that there are already people there, that people are already joining, and to make it look really successful. Use phases. Use phases anytime you're doing a fundraiser or if you're doing even collecting signatures. It's both working. People love to achieve a certain goal. And celebrate, of course. Like show the people that you're happy that we achieved something, that you achieved something, that the fundraiser is going well, that the collecting the signatures is going well. And I know there are doubts. I know like sometimes we're like, should I celebrate? Should I tell the people that we got already like so much money? Like, wouldn't they be like, like, you have enough. Like, why should I like donate? No, people really tend to donate more when they see that something is successful. And I know I'm repeating myself. It's already like success. I know it's a lot, but it annoys me a bit too. Sorry. But yeah, it's important. Repetition is important. Sorry. So let's go to the principle number 4. Smart red investments. This is something super important if you are doing ads, if you're using meta ads and everything. Because what we did basically with every campaign since the beginning, with the first initiative and even with the second one, and we use it every time we actually do a campaign, is that you have to, like, if you want to reinvest, of course you have to have some budget. Yeah, you can, if you want to invest money, you have to have some budget, like logically. But so start with some budget at least. You can do that, but by, for example, like doing a fundraiser before you launch a website, before you start collecting signatures. But have a budget, then you can just invest it in ads. And basically what we did, like we invested the money into ads to get more people on our website. And I already explained how the website was working. So you know that after signing a petition, some people would donate a single donation. So what we created was this like reinvestment mechanism. So we would always like invest money to get people to our website that will donate there. 5% of the people will donate a single donation. And what do? You take that money, you take those donations and you put them back into ads. Principle number 5. Embrace the change. And this is something like psychological, because I know, like, if you like have heard what I was saying and what everyone was saying, even with the telefundraising or with the communication style or with doing a completely different campaign, like, I know it's a big change. And I know, like, we are always so scared to do that. I know that. I've been there, like to change completely something about our organization and to try out new things. It's always like really, really like a big step. And I know that you have to have those conversations with the management. You have to convince the whole team, because the team is not like there with you. If you're the only one that wants to do something and then a mistake happens or the results aren't that good, what happens? Like, it's all on you. So try to like embrace the change, try to like get your team on board, and just, I don't know, like don't be a rooster in this case, like be the brave small chicken that is like right that is like running there and being the brave one. So don't be a rooster in this case. And now you are probably thinking, like, I've promised you those 3 simple steps, I know. And I was talking until now about 5 principles, so where are the 3 steps? Maybe I was lying to you, maybe there are no 3 steps. They're just the principles. And maybe you're just wondering if Aisha is making that face every time, and suddenly she is. Like, I have no other picture of her. Like, look at her. Like, she's always like making that face on me. I don't know. Does she like, I don't know. Is she judging me? Is she like having questions about life? I don't know. No. But no, let's get to those 3 simple steps. Step number 1, and I mentioned that already before. Collect the money before the launch. It usually happens to us, and this is the same thing that actually happened to Svoboda Zvířat as well. When I started to work there, you saw the amount of regular donors. There were not so many. And of course, there were like doubts about how should we like build a new website? How should we do that? Like, you need a lot of money to have a good website that has like all those things implemented there. To do so, I definitely recommend collecting that money before the launch of the website, because you have some supporters. You can do miracles even with like a small amount of supporters. Don't worry about it. Like I've seen pretty nice campaigns with a really small, with 7,000 people on their mailing list. And I had doubts when I was consulting the organization. I was like, oh, are you really having those expectations there? Like, I wasn't really sure if we are going to achieve the goal that we set, but we did. Actually, we did. If you are like setting correctly the communication, if you're expressing yourself well, if you tell the people that if you empower them, if you let them know that they can actually change stuff, that they can like that they have the power, their action matters actually, then they will donate to you. But you just have to like make the clear statement, and then with those money and like collecting single donations is pretty simple. Like if you compare it to getting regular donors, you know, like regular donations, they're like more committed, like, but getting single donations, to get that money to actually launch a campaign is pretty easy if you use the 5 principles I've told you about. So do that, definitely. Do the fundraiser before you launch a website. And I've been like, again, like repeating the word website over and over again. And yeah, do that. You see, like, build a proper website. You saw what I was talking about. You saw the mechanism I was doing. And every time I do that, like, it doesn't matter if it's like this campaign or another campaign. It doesn't matter if it's in Czech Republic or if it's in completely another country. We have the results, we have the numbers, we have the data that are showing us that if you collect the signatures, if you get the people to your website and you have it like properly set up, that's really important, and you ask the people to give you their single donation straight after their signature, they will give you the single donation, and they will afterwards give you even the regular donation. And that is like, there is a lot of work at the beginning. Of course, like creating the first website is always pain. We know it. It's like the most work. You will like have to test it and it will fail, and every time over and over again, and we hate it, and we have to invest so much time and so much money into it. I know it, I've been there, but if you create it properly, you can reuse it every time you do another petition or every time you do another fundraiser. It doesn't matter. But build a proper website that makes sense, that will work for you. Because what happens afterwards? You will just sit there and just like watch it and just like pay for the ads and just get more people to the website, and that's it. Because you have the mechanism working for you. And that's actually what you want to achieve. So website, like, super important. The third thing, reach beyond your bubble. This might be tricky, but you know, like, besides like writing to your supporters, you should you want to get those leads somehow. How can you get, what is the easiest way? The easiest way is always to pay for ads, sorry, but it is. Facebook meta ads should be like your best friend. Like, it should be the bestie you're like holding hands every time you're doing a fundraiser or another campaign. Because like, this is the thing, this is the easiest thing to collect those leads. Because if you're not like doing that, what do you want? Like, if you compare it to, I don't know, like face-to-face fundraising, or where do you, or like offline petitions, like if you compare how much does it cost you, like, you know, like when you have to pay the person that is actually like standing out there in the rain and collecting those like leads and everything, and if you compare it into like with investing into ads is so much more easier and it pays off so much. So test your ads, do your ads, and reach beyond your bubble. And you can, of course, do it by many ways. You can just like create graphics and everything. That's one way to do it. But like, there is this, like, I don't know if you followed the first initiative, the Safe Cruelty-Free Cosmetics. Sobota Zvířat did this like video with influencers. And working with influencers is something you want to do as well. Like, Sobota Zvířat created this video, and after, I don't know, a few months, just because of this video, we got 100,000 new leads just because of this video at that time. So we got like from 33,000 contacts to like 130 in no time because we did this super video. Influencers were sharing it, people were sharing it, and it was super crazy, like super great and amazing. But there's actually one thing, because I don't just want to, like praise how Svodasižat is great. There was also some like flops, of course, like they were. And with the second campaign, to ban the fur farms in Europe, we actually, we were super proud of the first video. So we're like, yeah, let's do a video, of course, and let's invest this time. Let's invest a lot of money. Like, let's do it. Like, we're gonna do another video, and we'll have like, I don't know, like 300,000 people on our mailing list. Of course, we're super confident about that. And we did like super professional video with models and everything, and looked like super good because they were like having these fur like jackets and like working there on the stage and just like throwing them away and stuff like that. And it looked pretty cool. Like, we thought it looked pretty cool. So, and we invested a lot into that, and we got like, I don't know, like few hundred signatures after that. And our like basic post on Instagram could get us like 2,000 signatures in one day. And then we did that video and we had like few hundreds. So money was like away, like nothing. So, and basically there are more reasons why that happened. Like, we could really like talk about it for hours. Like, what was the video about? What was inside? Like, could the people actually know what we are telling with the video? Because the call to action was at the end. But another super important thing there is that, I don't know, like if you're using Instagram and Facebook, you can see that there are reels now, the thing that you were just like scrolling, dumb scrolling, and just like looking at it, and you don't even remember it after a few seconds. That this is something they changed actually, because before you had proper videos, if you remember that. It's a long time ago, like 2 years, I don't know. But yeah, so that changed. And now, because like when people did like dumb scrolling, they don't like to leave, they just want to see another video of a puppy or something like that. So imagine seeing there's some models and blood and everything, you're like, whoa, no, like I'm continuing. So that's what happened actually, like people were not, and this is something that sadly happened to videos on social media. So maybe do not invest that much into creating videos, or like, I still didn't like find the proper way how to do videos so they would have that conversion rate as the first video we did, because of reels. I hate them because of many things, because I'm usually scrolling every night and I want to sleep, but I still cannot sleep, of course. But also because of my work, because I cannot like get those signatures that fast as I did before. So yeah, but like paying ads, it's like a pretty like simple thing you can do, and that is working every single time. And oh my God, that's it. That was fast. Yeah, that's the plot twist. She is able to do some other faces, as you can see. Yeah, I think she was trying to laugh at me, but I don't know. One last thing I wanted to add before we go to those questions, and if you have any questions, you can still add it to the the app inventory, thank you. But what I wanted to point out, I wouldn't stand here if it wasn't for Jiří Krupa, who was guiding me all the time and showing me the right way and teaching me how to do fundraising. So thank you, Jiří. And if everyone wants to get in touch with him, there is his email, do it. And thank you again for your attention. And if you have any questions, go for them. Write it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and we have questions. So I have to first say thank you for your presentation. It came to an end a bit quickly, but then we have more time for questions, so that's good. And we'll be starting the Q&A questions now, and like you said, it will be through the Eventory app. So let's see here what we have so far. So we have one question. Did you reinvest all single donations into ads?
That's a good question. Actually, in the first campaign, we tried to, but we were not able to because it was like we got so much money because the first website, that's a problem you want to have. Like having too much money and promising to donors that you will spend it on like getting more signatures, and you're just sitting there like, what are we going to do with that money? Like it's too much. We cannot like put it like we could, but it was really a lot because like as I said, the first video. We got like from like few thousand signatures to like, I don't know, like 10,000, 30,000. It was like crazy. So the donations grew with that because, as I said, it's a working mechanism that's working for you. So the more signatures you get, the more donations you get. So we were just like sitting there, oh my God, what should we do? So we created another video, for example. But yeah, we try to invest more, like we try to invest that money because that's something we were actually promising to the donors. We said that on the website, your donation is going to get more signatures. That's why you should do the donation, like do it for getting more signatures. But no, we were not able, sorry.
Thank you. And of course, we have more questions. One question is, why single donors? Since we really want regular donors, then why give them the option for single donations?
I remember I saw a test somewhere that if you ask for regular donation first and not the single donation, actually, I don't know, I remember the numbers were lower, like if you ask first for regular donation. But the principle is actually the most basic one. We want to get the money, like single donations, to reuse it, to invest it into ads. So this money is always dedicated into investing in ads. And we've been also like converting people to like regular donors. And so 1% of the people that actually signed became regular donors. And you have to keep in mind, and I didn't mention that, Svoboda Zvířat has a huge fundraising team. And every time somebody signs, he will get like call very soon. So we have that mechanism there already. And it's really simple for people to sign up for a single donation, and the regular donation is like another step. So that's basically why we've been doing it that way.
Thank you. A question is, how do you make sure that people don't really think you only communicate with them when you want some money? How much emails do you have to send throughout the year?
As many as I can. Like, if I have something to tell, I would just send an email about it. And this means that there were weeks where I would send 5 emails. And there were even days that I would send 2 or 3 emails in one day. It depends, like, what are you doing? What is the situation? What do you have to say? So I have no clue what was the like number for a year, but I can tell you, like, if there is something important, if it's a fundraiser, I would send almost every day an email. If I need to get those signatures, I would also like push it at the beginning, throughout the year, and then the end. It depends what is happening, but I have no limit. Sky is the limit with the emails.
So hang on. Do you also have experience with campaigns not focused directly on animals? Those, that are not that emotional for people? For example, plant-based industry political campaign about taxes, labeling, etc.?
Well, I have some experience with doing completely different campaign. For example, last time I was consulting one organization that is writing a magazine about like old buildings and like old churches and everything. And they had the goal that they wanted to get like regular donors. And that was a hard one. Like, I remember sitting there like, how do you get people emotional about like church, like an old church? How do you do that? Or old building, like, and they're not even like really repairing it. Like it wasn't their job. They were just like informing people that there are ways to like donate somewhere or take part in some, I don't know, like competition where they would actually like collect money and somehow help to like rebuild some old building. So that was a hard one, but we actually did a Christmas campaign and it was working so good. You just have to find a way to like make it really understandable for the people, like to make them actually like, you know, like familiar with the topic. So what I did, for example, there, and I think you can do it with almost every topic, I just created a story. I was telling a story because what do you like, what raises your emotions when you like understand something and you can imagine yourself in that situation. So I was, for example, creating like a story, like imagine, like, do you remember like when you were a child and you were like going with your grandparents visiting old churches or I don't know, like old buildings or castles, you know, and you were like always like dreaming about like those that princess that was living there and those kings. You remember that? Now imagine your child will never see that. Imagine your child would never experience that because those buildings will just fall apart. Nobody will take care of them. So I created this story and actually the fundraiser was so successful, I couldn't even believe it. So it's always about like how you approach those people, how you tell the story to them. So I think you can do a fundraiser about almost everything if you know how to like communicate it.
If you could do only one step from your 3 recommended ones, which one would you choose?
That's a tough one. Thank you. Thank you for that. Who was
to.
that? Like, was it someone in the room? I will do the Aisha face. One step. I would definitely try to get those leads. Like that's like, well, that wasn't one of the 7 principle. But no, reach out to people, you know, like get those leads. Because if you have those leads, then you can follow the other steps as well. So no, let's really collect those leads, because with leads, then you can work with them. That's the first step. That's the most important one. You can then convert the leads anyway.
You did touch on this on the previous one, but does this approach work for any campaign? Or are there campaigns people would not donate to?
I think that it's working for every campaign. As I said, like if you know how to communicate it, then I would say it's working for every campaign. Yeah, just to make it simple. Simple is the word, the motto of today. So yes.
So, what is the typical communication with regular donors? What does it look like? And how often do they receive emails after becoming regular donors?
I just heard yesterday a nice sentence from my colleague from Tushinerve that is sitting here in the first line. And she said, I don't overcomplicate my work. And that's actually what I do. I communicate with every supporter the same way. So if you're a regular donor or a single donor, or if you're just a supporter on our mailing list, on Svoboda Zvířat mailing list, you would just get everything, like every letter, because it's super important. Like I give all the information to everyone. Regular donors are the same people as the other people you have on your mailing list. So it's like I'm communicating with everyone the same way, no exceptions. We are all people.
Mm-hmm. And how would you get colleagues who don't work in this line with exactly fundraising excited about fundraising?
That's also a hard one. Where's like writing the questions? Yeah, that can be really difficult sometimes. I can imagine that. I've been consulting some organizations that were struggling with that. I remember like consulting a fundraiser that didn't that had that support from the management even. But you know, like my approach usually is that I show them like the goal, like what we could achieve if we do like a good fundraiser. I show them where the organization could be in few years. I even like do a prediction for them. I will be like, okay, like this is something really nice. This could be the income of the organization. What does that mean practically? You could hire that many people. If you want to do successful campaigns, you want to do bigger campaigns, because usually everyone in like the organization, especially the management, will be like, oh my God, I would love to do that campaign and that campaign, but we don't have that capacity. So what I would do, I would just show them, look, this is the prediction. Like we could do that, we could do this campaign, we could that many regular donors and get that monthly income. But if you want to do that, like we need to like step up, we need to do something differently, we need to do a proper fundraiser. So that's something that is usually working. Just tell them, you want more people, you need to do a better fundraiser.
And another question, are you using any software to keep track on who gave a single donation and who called for donations, who signed petitions, etc.?
If I understood it correctly, the question was if we have some kind of like tracking system.
Yeah, if you use a specific type of software that works.
Specific type? No, actually, like if it's about like, yes, we have a CRM system. Svoboda Zvířat has a CRM system, and so we are collecting like data there. But most importantly, like every website we create or we have created has like a database you can download, and that's the basic. Like you don't need to like again overcomplicate it and to like have the IT department or IT company to create you some super reporting system. You don't have to do that. If you can download the data, you can always like create a pretty simple reporting table in Google Sheets. You can like upload it every day, and that's it. Like, and you can do all the reports by your own.
We kind of touched on this already, but what about follow-up emails asking for donations after signing petition? Does it work the same?
Yes, like, that's also something I maybe should have mentioned. I had enough time, I know, for that. But like, of course, like there is like a working system, like in Svoboda Zvířat, like they're super great. The organization is super great that they have been investing into a proper CRM system that is working for them. So there are so many like automatizations that will make your life easier as a fundraiser. So every time somebody signs a petition, he will be asked to donate a single donation, as I said on the website, but he will also get an automatic email to actually do a single donation. Then if he does a single donation, he will get asked to do a regular donation, and we will like send him emails automatically, and then we have the super great telefundraising team which will call him in the end. And it doesn't matter if you like, it doesn't matter actually if you right now the team is so big in Svoboda Zvířat that they are even calling you if you just sign the petition. So yes, like we ask everyone to be a regular donor. That's the main goal.
So you get a lot of praise, by the way. People loving your presentation, and also
it's because of Aisha. I know, she's super cute. I know it.
Yeah, so basically, do you have any reading recommendations, and maybe are you planning to put these experiences together in a book in the future?
Wow, I'm not that confident. But reading, oh my God, I would love to, but you know, like my memory is so bad. Like I would love to recommend you something, but actually, no, I don't have any book in my mind right now. But you can ask Jiří, like you have his email there, like just write him. He is reading a lot. I'm reading a lot too, but not like that kind of books mainly. I'm sorry. But there are other sources. Like, I don't know about a book, but if you want to see some results or you want to see any copies of the emails or any like particular numbers of the campaigns, you can definitely write me as well. And I'm willing to share it with you and to, if I could, at least inspire you to do individual fundraising, then I'm here and I'm glad to help you if you want to.
And another one who really loved the presentation. They're asking or saying that you have mentioned that we need to celebrate, and if there is nothing to celebrate, what if there are just too many flops and nothing to celebrate? How do we communicate that?
That's a hard one again. Well, it depends. Is there like what did happen that there are so many flops? I have so many questions. Like, what did happen there? Were the goals set wrong, or I don't know? Like you have to, but still, like every time, I think sometimes it happens to us, and it happened to me as well in the past, that there is like this huge flop. And you just panic. You're like, oh my God, like, there is nothing to celebrate. Like we just messed up and there is nothing more to do. But actually the experience showed me, like, I know now that every time I do something, like I mess up something, I just try to like find a way how to correct it. And that's the only way you can approach it. Because if you're just like sitting there and just like crying about the flop you just did, like that's not a solution. Just like try to find out a way how to correct it or how to do it properly or how to like, I don't know, success in something. So yeah, like that's my answer actually.
Thank you. And could you talk a little bit more in detail about campaign phases with an example?
About the campaign phases, like that, this is like, I would mainly talk about the fundraising campaign phases because that's something like we have done many times. So, Asia. Yeah, so like the phases, why they are important. And the first thing I would say, it's really important to set those phases like correctly and to think them through before you start your fundraiser, for example. Because if you're like, for example, collecting single signatures, then you should like communicate what are you collecting the signatures for example, and what will the goal be so that you can actually achieve it and not like sit there and like, oh my God, like and it happened to me as well, actually. Once I had like super ambitious goal and I couldn't achieve it. Like we have been stuck. And I have sent like some letters, and my rule actually was like, I'm not gonna send another letter until I reach that goal, because I don't want to communicate that we were not successful. And of course, like, what could you do? There were like two options: to like just give up, or maybe three. Okay, to give up, to send a letter that we are losers, or to find a way how to achieve that goal. You know, again, it's about being creative. So I remember being at a conference as an attendant, not a speaker. And I remember I was just sitting there everyone was already at the after party. And I went there too, but with my laptop. And I remember sitting there on the stairs somewhere in the basement. I was like writing another email to just some people. I don't know if it was like, if it were like regular donors or something, but I just like, I don't know. I thought that maybe like the regular donors would save me, would save the situation. I don't have to admit to everyone that we didn't achieve the goal. So I just wrote to, I don't know, at the time, 1,500 people. And I wrote them, okay, like, look, this is super important because if we achieve that goal, like it would be super great for animals. So just like join. And the thing that happened, so I sent that email, I don't know, like at 8 p.m., something like that. Everyone was partying and dancing and drinking. I was like writing the letter there on the floor, on the stairs. But yeah, and it happened. We achieved the goal. So what I wanted to say, because I got kind of lost into detail, what I wanted to say is that phases, like you can do, I don't know, as many phases as you want to, like set the goals right, like think those goals through and communicate clearly what are you collecting the money for, what is the goal for, and make it look achievable every time. Every phase should be achievable because success is a key to success.
And we have another one that I'm not completely sure I understand, but maybe you do. Would you use supporter box in every campaign during a year? Or would you have it in like 2 times out of 5?
Actually, I'm using it every time. Like people would think that, are we locked here? Oh my God. You're not gonna leave until I finish. So, oh, no, really, I mean it. Not leaving. Sorry, it's the rules. Yeah, but anyway, this is, oh my God. Can somebody help her, please, to get out? No, like, yeah, no? Okay, sorry. I definitely didn't want that for you to happen, sorry. But yeah, to get back to the question, yeah, the supporter box, of course, like you would think that people will just like get, like they will, you know, like see that supporter box and they'll think, oh my God, again, like this is happening again, I'm not donating. But no, this is something actually that like simple. I see everyone is like so distracted by the closed door. I know. Yep. It's turning into a situation. I'm sorry, I hope the online people, I wish for you that you could see it, but I guess you can. But it's really funny, people cannot get out of this room. Until I'm finished, of course, then we will solve the problem. But I hope you're not like running late somewhere, but if I should continue, where was I? The door is like really becoming a situation here. But the supporter box, yes, use it every time. And it is really visual. No one gets annoyed by that. I mean, like no one ever wrote me, oh my God, again, the supporter box. No, like it's a visual thing that is helping you achieve the goals. So do it, and you can as well reuse all the emails. Like don't worry that people will remember what you have sent them the last time. Like they won't. Reuse it, reuse it, reuse it. We said that already at the first fundraising session, and I am repeating that because it's working and it's true.
Thank you. And I have one more question for you, and I think that might be the last one. Do you have specific suggestions about collecting signatures for European citizens initiatives?
I think it's the same like for every other petition. The only difference there is that you have to like get the people to sign twice, which is like, of course, that is complicated because you need them to like fill out your form first and then fill out the form of the initiative. And I know that's complicated. It's like this 2-step signature is always complicated. You will lose 50% of the people on the way. But that's totally normal. That's the benchmark. I'm sorry. But you can still get 100,000 signatures if you do the campaign properly, if you have that good working website. And even with that complicated step there, even if with the like signing the petition, like the initiative, like for a second time, and fill out the ID, oh my God, the number of the ID, you can still like do super great campaign. Like you just have to have that landing page. I'm not the IT person, I'm sorry, but to create that landing page and to integrate somehow, like someone from IT would definitely know more about it, but you can like integrate it into the website. iframe, that's the word, thank you. iframe it. Ish, some way, I don't know, IT thing. But so you can do that, and this will make your life much easier. You will collect leads. Like when I remember, you remember those numbers? Like we reached the ultimate goal, like it was so crazy, and you just saw all those other countries having so many signatures there, real signatures, but then you found out that they have no leads from it, and that's so crazy. Like that's such a like missed opportunity there. So do the iframe thing and like just implement the initiative into your website and collect those signatures.
Okay. So that was the last question we have time for, and so our time is coming to an end. Thank you for a very inspirational lecture. And yeah, so basically, I would ask you to rate the session.
We are saved. You can leave finally.
We're able to leave. That's a good thing. Yeah.
But rate the session first, please.
Yeah, yeah, and also at the end of the conference, fill out the survey. That would be, yeah, very nice if you could do that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you.